All right, we live. Low post, mid post, high post, post game sports. What it do? Today I got a very special guest, one of the pioneers in the game, one of the best analysts out there, Mr. Corey Parson. How you doing, brother?
What's going on with you, my man? How's everything going? Glad to be talking with you. You know what I'm saying? Got the little one in the background. You know what I mean? I used to be my MO2 doing shows. You know what I'm saying? So definitely know where you're coming from on that one. And I see you rocking a Notre Dame joint. It's funny because I was watching last night, watched the U part one and part two. And obviously, Notre Dame, had to play a little bit of role in part one. I guess you're
Yeah.
not a Miami fan.
They one of my favorite teams, but the
Really? Okay.
Irish. Yeah, I like Miami, especially their history.
Yeah. But the Irish is who you roll with.
Man, all day, every day, Corey. I'm telling you, and I got a prediction for you when this is all said and done.
Oh, that's
Before
going to
you
be
leave,
interesting to hear because the only thing I can think of on the Irish schedule that you could be predicting is something to do with Clemson. So that could be interesting.
we'll see. We'll see. So, I like to start from the beginning. Can you take me back and tell me how you got into fantasy sports and sports betting?
So like fantasy was never what I was looking to get into. I'm basically radio guy. You know what I'm saying? If you people that's familiar with the New York market and legendary radio station out there, WFAN, it was my goal to be over there. But obviously, as I got into the business, I had an opportunity to work for a radio network, Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio Channel. And this is during a time when I was like playing fantasy football real heavy. So it was like natural. I was already talking about it with the homies and stuff like that. And then you go on there, produce the shows, talk about it, sort of, had a little bit of talent on the microphone and started to get my shot and opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Ended up producing the morning show on that network as a full-time employee, the Roto Experts in the morning. And that was amazing radio that we did. Me, Scott Angle, and Adam Ronis. Can't forget my man Silent Rob too. He was a part of that. So we did that. You know what I'm saying? And things got rolling. Left Sirius XM, started going out and doing my own talent stuff. So we've had some good shows, some good times. You know what I'm saying? Won some championships, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to keep it rolling and do some more stuff.
Something I always wondered was the call you made when Antonio Brown broke out in Pittsburgh. What did that call do for you in your career?
Yo, the Antonio, because it put it like credibility. You know what I'm saying, son? It was like instant. It was credibility because it was like now it was just dude on the microphone talking, making jokes, laughing. You know what I'm saying? But when AB hit, and it was like it became like, okay, wait a minute. So AB hit. Now I'm winning championships because I got Brown all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So when AB hit, like most people in this industry, you know what I'm saying, to make it to a certain level, they have a player that they could say like help propel their career. Mine's 100% was Antonio Brown. You know what I'm saying? AB 84. I still love Antonio Brown to this day. Now, my Dallas Cowboys, he can't come play for us, right? Because every place Antonio Brown go, he quit. You know what I mean? So I don't want him quitting on my Cowboys. But shout out to Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? Listen, and really in our generation, he is the Jerry Rice of our generation. He is fantasy wide receiver 1-1. You know what I mean? Because that year when he broke out, he must have scored like he caught like 2 or 3 touchdown passes in week 1. You know what I'm saying? And it was just on after that.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, man. So, do you think sports betting hurts the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, or does it help it?
I think it helps it. I think you get more engagement from the fans because of it. Obviously, they get to put a reasonable amount, whatever your bankroll is. You know what I'm saying? They get to put something down. They have a stake in the action. It makes it very interactive too. So anything that put more eyeballs on the sport, I think helps the sport. Now the players may not like it because it brings in more judgment to them on their behalf. You know what I'm saying? But they got to get used to it because it's it's going to be a way to get into a post-retirement career. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like fantasy and betting is a way. Not everybody goes, and become, Troy Aikman or Tony Romo. It's those cats like Maurice Jones-Drew that got to start in fantasy and stuff like that. So that's that's I think it's going to be good for them in that way. Right now, as they're playing, they don't like it, but overall, it's good for the game. It's been a long time because people have been betting on these games forever. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like it. They're not.
True. Um, so fantasy drafts are underway. How many drafts are you in this year? Or do you even draft anymore?
I try my best not to, but it's like, matter of fact, I got to pay for a league today. So far I've done one draft, the flex draft, the expert league draft in New York. That was a super flex league. I do not like super flex format. I did Scotch Fish Bowl. That don't really. Are you in Scotch Fish Bowl?
No.
We got to get you in that next year. You know what I'm saying? So I did the Scotch Fish Bowl joint, which is that's out there every year. I did one NFFC auction. I kind of like the way that team came out. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson, WR1, running backs Travis Etienne and Ezekiel Elliott. Some of the other guys I like on that team as well. And then that's it right now. I believe I got it. And then listen, I'll do a draft this weekend, but then really as we get closer to kickoff, I like to do the auction format. I like to have the whole board to me. I like to be able to put the team together the way I want to. So I'll do a couple of those, and I might throw a best ball in there just because I don't got to set the lineup. My main thing right now, I'll be honest with you, is I'm not trying to set no lineups.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I can dig that. I got a few drafts coming up this weekend that I'm excited for. But speaking of fantasy, man, you got any players that you just can't leave your auction draft without?
I think it's a big year for JT. I think Jonathan Taylor is 1-1, and rightfully so. I think he's going to finish 1-1. I think he's going to have a real, like one of the classic offensive years. I think we have coming up for Jonathan Taylor. So I like him a lot. I mentioned I like the Raiders. I like Devontae Adams. I like Darren Waller. You know what I mean? I like the kid White, the running back. I think I like, Derek Carr. I think the Raiders are going to be a very good offense this year. Mike Williams, a dude not too far from where I'm sitting right now, where he grew up at. I think he could become the wide receiver one of the Chargers. And a dude that I have a love-hate relationship with, a dude that I just can't seem to quit, Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins is going to have a role this year, at least till he gets hurt with the Green Bay Packers. He could be their WR1. So I think Sammy Watkins is a player that I'm getting a piece of late and cheap.
So you're not convinced that Lazard is the wide receiver one?
I can see that, you know what I'm saying, as well. It's just a matter of I don't know. I don't know. It's probably just me and Sammy Watkins. It's probably a Sammy Watkins thing. But I can see Lazard being the one. He has a good rapport with Aaron Rodgers already, and he's probably the most skilled at this point in his career.
Got you. Talk about some sleepers. A couple players many people aren't talking about that can help people win their fantasy leagues.
I talked about the kid White with Vegas. Marlon Mack with Houston is another interesting one. Davis Mills, to be honest with you, could also be an interesting piece. I think they're going to come together well. I'm not really 100% totally down on the Texans. Those are some of the guys I look at. That kid in Dallas, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. He could be an unbelievable decoy, or he could be an unbelievable playmaker. He could help open up that offense. So those are some of the dudes I'm looking at right now as far as, it's hard to name sleepers now because there's so much information out there. But those are some of the names that come to my mind that you can get later on in drafts. Chris Olave, dude, I like a lot as well this year. But I wouldn't consider him a sleeper. People are on Jameis.
Gotcha.
I like Jameis too.
So you got faith in Mike Williams or Michael Thomas this year?
Yeah, I like Michael Thomas too. Right now, supposedly a little setback with his hamstring, but I know the people that I talk to with the Saints, they think that he's getting ready to have a big year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything seems to be worked out because he had a lot of situations going on, not only with the injuries, but the people in the organization, people in the building were saying that he was becoming kind of like a Antonio Brown type. You know what I'm saying? So they was kind of worried about that. They tried to trade him a couple times, but now I think everything is worked out. And I'll watch out for that Saint team this year too. I would put something on Dennis Allen to win Coach of the Year. You might put a couple dollars on the Saints, not only to win the division, but to win the NFC.
Okay. How you feel about the Indianapolis Colts this year?
I think the Colts are a good team. I think they're going to have a good season. I think what they wasn't able to do with Rivers and Carson Wentz last year, Matt Ryan's going to come in and help them do that. I still think the Tennessee Titans are the class of the division. Like the Titans were the best team going into the playoffs earlier this year. Then obviously Ryan Tannehill. But they're still the best coach. They're still going to run the ball. They're still going to play defense. Them and the Colts will battle it out. I think the Colts are a team that's definitely an AFC playoff team. But if I'm a Colts fan, my thing is, are they going to be playing in the division round? Can they make the division round? If they can make the division round, then I think you got to feel pretty good about the season you had. If you're in the AFC Championship game, then you should be jumping for joy because that AFC is rough.
No doubt. It's that was it the AFC West? Who you got coming out that division?
Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, Vegas. Everybody's talking about the Chargers, right? And I get it. The Chargers, what's old boy named Justin Herbert, talent on defense. You know what I'm saying? I worry about the head coach and the stupid 4th and 25s and 4th and 12s and all that he be doing in his own territory, and then blaming analytics. And then you look at the teams that went to the playoffs last year because right now everybody expects the whole division going to make the playoffs. They're not going to take all 4 teams to the playoffs, but the Chiefs are going to get there. Who went to the playoffs last year? The Chiefs and the Raiders. So now the Chargers and the Broncos are supposed to be the class of the AFC. I get it. Both of those teams have been right there, a quarterback away. Well, now you got the quarterback, right, with the Chargers. Here's the thing. Nobody ever puts pressure on Justin Herbert. Why hasn't he won the playoffs anymore? The boy's only been in the league 2 years. Other quarterbacks don't get that same leeway. And then when you look at Wilson, you got him going into a new system, a new place, not to mention the fact it's with a first-year head coach. So, maybe it takes a little bit of time to gel and stuff like that. So I think the Raiders and the Chiefs are the class of the AFC, and I would put something on the Raiders to come out to win the AFC West because they're the long shot. But I think they're clearly the second best team in the division and might be the first.
Got you. Best ball format. Do you think that format is the future for home leagues as it's starting to explode? I'm in a couple best ball drafts, or I've did a few best ball drafts this summer, headed up to now. Do you think that's the future of fantasy?
I think it's the future of drafting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think best ball drafts, are cool. I like the format because you draft it and you go. Shout out to Jim Day for creating the format. You draft it and you leave it. You know what I'm saying? Let the rosters work themselves out. You don't got to hit the waiver wire. You can be very compensated for a serious player. But when it comes to the home league, though, that week-to-week trash talk, that week-to-week head-to-head, I think it's still going to be what drives fantasy football, especially in the home leagues. But if you're playing with some random dudes for a couple of dollars, best ball probably the way to go.
I agree. I'm really digging best ball. So you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, correct?
Unfortunately.
How you see y'all season going this season, man? You believe in the CeeDee Lamb wide receiver 1 hype that he's getting?
Yeah, I think so. I think I like it. I like Lamb as a WR1. Like I said, they have the best player in the NFC East in Dak Prescott, which means they'll likely win the NFC East. Will they lose in the first round of the playoffs again? It's a very good possibility. You know what I'm saying? 100% honest as a Dallas Cowboy fan. But Dallas is going to play good defense. It looks like they're going to be good on special teams this year. Have that threat on special teams. We know what they can do offensively. McKellen Moore is dialing it up, right? They'll be a competitive double-digit win team. the Eagles will probably give them the closest call in the NFC East. But as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, the Cowboys are the class of the NFC, the class of the NFC. And in the NFC, you could go to the NFC Championship game if you're down. You know what I'm saying? Because the NFC is not as strong as the AFC. Like the Colts. The Colts will win the NFC. The Colts will be the best team in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the way the ball bounces.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. You're a New York native, correct?
Yes.
Nice, nice. Who's the greatest MC out of the NY?
So the notorious B.I.G. is not only the greatest MC out of New York, he's the greatest ever touch the microphone, period. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's associated with hip hop music, what it used to be, should run through the notorious B.I.G. You know what I'm saying? You know, the 2 albums, classics, you know what I'm saying? The lyricism. I got to go with the notorious B.I.G. as the dopest MC ever.
Hey, I respect that to the fullest. So I just wanted to tell you this, man. Saturday, September 3rd, right?
Uh-huh.
The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame are going to walk into Columbus and out physical Ohio State and get the victory.
They're going to beat Ohio State?
Facts.
Wait a minute. So if Notre Dame beats Ohio State, I got to pull up Notre Dame's schedule now. You know what I'm saying? Because if Notre Dame beats Ohio State, Notre Dame is going to they're going to the college football playoff this year.
Facts. And we got to see Clemson and USC and North Carolina, and we're going to handle our business with those teams also.
It's a rough schedule. Start off with Ohio State. You got to go to BYU. Clemson comes to your spot. Oh, man. You know, the Carolina trip is not bad. You still, Stanford, you can do that. Navy, easy. Close off with, obviously, the game versus USC, who's going to be better this year. Oh, man, I tell you what. Yeah, listen. Man, that's going to be tough. That's a tough schedule. And if you go to the college football, you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But I look at Ohio State as, like, I don't know who that fourth team is going to be. Actually, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking that the fourth team could be Notre Dame this year because it would have to be a team that would have to jump Clemson. And I think Clemson is going to be easy to jump this year because I think Clemson won 10-3 last year. But I think, like, people overestimated the quarterback. And that quarterback is going to be back this year. With that being said, I think a Texas A&M can maybe get up there, or maybe that was Michigan. But yeah, that'd be good. Listen, I would say Notre Dame. So you can Notre Dame versus Alabama in one college football playoff, and the other one Ohio State versus Georgia. And I like Ohio State versus Alabama, but Alabama's winning the whole thing this year. Alabama's winning the whole thing this year. I don't think that's like, I think it's who gets to play Alabama.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go well for us if that first matchup is against Bama. I'd rather see them for it all.
Yeah,
but no. I like the Irish this year, man. I think Marcus Freeman is the real deal, and he's going to get the job done, homie.
It's going to be an interesting college football season. I'm kind of getting pumped up for it. Actually, I got, probably before the week is up, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably making a couple of announcements about some of the next steps in my career, and college football will be a part of that. So definitely tell a friend to look out for that.
You want to tell the folks where they can find you?
Right now, find me on Twitter at the Fantasy Exec. The rest of the month of August, I got 3 more articles to do for fantasy articles to do for the Athletic. For those who come out before September 1st. Then after that, that stuff is still pending. The ink is not dry yet. So when the ink starts drying, you'll start seeing the announcements. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's been an honor and a treat to have you on the platform, man. I really appreciate you for your time.
No doubt, definitely. Thanks for having me, brother. And like I said, everybody, keep a lookout. We're gonna get back to making some more hits this year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Low post, mid post, high post, post game sports. We out, baby.